Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Lost Alice, Destined Lovers in Wonderland. We are on the realm of Piracy, Chapter 4, and there'll be 2 more parts to go after this. The scenarios get unlocked as I go along the game, so I just been releasing them as they get unlocked. Alright, so yeah, like I said, Chapter 4, and apparently some rival pirates are trying to steal the treasure, which would involve taking me along since I'm supposed to be the key to it somehow. Let's see if we can get any information out of this guy we've caught. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story.
Now then, Iris, if you are to stay in this room...
Yes? What is it? I responded to Owen with a question as I tried to hold back my nervousness.
I should get a second bed ready for you to use.
What?
Attention, this is the captain's quarters speaking. Any available hands, bring me a bed from the unused room at once.
Oh, how considerate. Owen immediately shouts an order to his men, using the speaking tube his room is equipped with.
I shall sleep in whatever bed they bring. You should use the one over there.
Really? Is it really all right for me to use it? My nervous tension melted away in an instant.
Indeed. The bed I usually sleep in is probably the most comfortable one in the whole ship. I would be much obliged if you were to relax and enjoy yourself.
Thank you, Owen. I thought for sure that...
You thought what now? Were you expecting to sleep in the same bed as me?
Oh, I was hoping. Owen grinned sweetly and gave me a mischievous glance.
I shall not hesitate to share a bed with you, if you so desire.
I do, but of course I'm not going to say it. Hey, stop making fun of me. You're so mean, Owen. I knew he was joking, but I still couldn't stop myself from blushing. I expected nothing of the sort, so no and thank you. Owen's smile still didn't fade, even as I raised my voice in an attempt to conceal my embarrassment.
And that feisty attitude is so very like you.
Owen smiled cheerfully and gently patted my head like he was putting a young child to bed.
Good night, Iris.
He then gave me a kiss on the cheek. For a moment, I wasn't able to respond to his loving caress. I'm not a little kid. Contrary to my words of anger, my heart began to race. I crawled into bed as I tried again to still my pounding heart. He's gonna give me a heart condition. Covering myself with my sheets so that Owen wouldn't be able to see the look on my face, I mumbled, "Good night."
Yes, and to you as well. My lamp is a bit bright, but do try to understand. There's a bit more research to be done. I intend to retire as well when I finish.
Anything to get us out of this book.
Captain, I bought you the bed, sir.
Ah, good work. Why don't you leave it in that corner over there, and do try to be as quiet as possible.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Did he ask him to be quiet out of concern for me? Didn't I just lay down, not even asleep yet? Eventually the noise came to an end. Any sign of the crewmate's presence faded away, and the room gradually returned to silence. I could faintly hear Owen's breathing, mixed with the sound of a pen moving across paper. Feeling oddly at peace, I drifted off to sleep. Huh? Some kind of commotion outside the room woke me up. I could hear bustling sounds of people shouting, and what sounded like objects being moved around.
Oh my, did something wake you? Good morning, Iris.
Good morning, Owen. Oh, what's going on? I rubbed the drowsiness from my eyes while I listened for his explanation for the clamor. Owen seemed pretty calm. There isn't necessarily anything going wrong.
We've docked at a port town, you see. My men are loading up on what we need and unloading what we don't.
Oh, so that's what's going on. You're being pretty careful to stock up on supplies this early, huh?
When hunting for treasure, we contend with the perilous unknown. One can never be too prepared, yes? Also, I have decided to release our spy from last night. You might say that was my main reason for docking at this port.
Did you get anything out of him first? Huh? Is it really okay to just let him go?
He gave up everything he knew as soon as I started questioning him.
Okay.
I don't see any reason to keep him any longer.
Be that as it may, Owen probably decided to leave him at this port because there was no use of keeping him. You really are too kind, Owen. Yeah, this really isn't the kind of story where they would slit his throat and throw him overboard.
You know something? Sometimes I wonder. Anyway, it was as I expected. That man was a spy sent aboard my ship by a rival group of pirates after the treasure. I would like to make a number of preparations while we're moored here.
There are also things to be done in the port itself, I'm sure.
Indeed. Why don't you go get ready to go ashore? I'm sure you're aching to walk on solid ground again.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll get right on it. With his permission and a spring in my step, I went to gather my belongings. Eek! My whole body shuddered with discomfort the moment I set foot on dry land, just as it looked like I was about to accidentally stumble and fall. Owen caught me.
Careful.
Too used to your sea legs. Owen grabbed me by the shoulder and helped me regain my balance. Thanks. It feels so strange getting off a ship after so long. I feel like I'm still floating. My legs weren't even shaking, yet I still somehow lost control of my senses. It seemed like my body was just beginning to get used to living on a boat after just one day.
You should take care not to fall down like that. You're likely to tumble into the sea from here if you do.
Right, I'll be careful. I'm feeling better now. Owen released me from his supportive grip when he heard my reply.
Now, I understand there are many things you want to know in town, but can you follow my lead for today? You aren't exactly at liberty to make purchases right now, after all.
The life of a hostage sure is inconvenient. What are you going to buy, though? I was completely broke, just as Owen said, and the idea of walking alone in an unfamiliar town gave me an uncertain feeling. It made the most sense for the two of us to stick together. Still, the idea of us going out shopping together sounds a bit like a date. It wasn't like we were on an actual date, I guess. I started feeling a bit ticklish with embarrassment. My shopping can wait. Let's buy what you need first, Owen.
You have my gratitude. First we shall...
I stayed at Owen's side as he continued walking along.
Good. This is the last of our necessities.
Owen had purchased some ink, a well-made length of rope, and some building materials, among various other things. My shopping is next then, but what would a freshly kidnapped captive need? Perhaps some more suitable clothes for the ocean? A flower shop by the roadside caught my eye, just as I had expressed my uncertainty about what to buy. I could see flowers of every color. Everything from immaculate blossoms of pure white to richly colored tropical flowers were on display.
Interested in the flowers, are we?
I nodded to Owen, who had stopped in his tracks to turn and face me. You can't see any flowers on the open ocean. It's sort of refreshing to see them again.
I see, and that is true.
I found myself unconsciously walking into the flower shop. Owen called for the store clerk and began talking to him. Owen?
Say, I think I'll give this to you as a gift.
Saying this, Owen presented me with the object he had just received from the clerk.
I do hope you like it. I'm a bit worried that my taste may not meet your standards.
That could never be. Your taste is impeccable, Owen. Owen presented me with a wreath of dried purple flowers. Owen, is it really all right for me to take this? It's just so wonderful.
But of course, fresh flowers will wilt in the salt air, but these shouldn't be any problem. I think that decorating our room with these would help put your mind at ease on our journey. What do you say?
I smiled from ear to ear as I gave my answer to Owen, who was eagerly awaiting my reply. That sounds great. Thank you, Owen. Come to think of it, I feel like I saw these same purple flowers somewhere in Chess Kingdom. I still couldn't know for sure when I'd returned to Wonderland. My fond memories gave some comfort to my aching heart. I gratefully accepted Owen's thoughtful gift, and we went on with our shopping.
Captain, we've been looking for you, sir.
After continuing to browse for a moment, a panicked member of Owen's crew came rushing up to us. What's the matter?
It's the swine from the Trade Guild, sir. They fleeced us on our morning fee, they did. They say we gotta weigh anchor if we don't pay 'em even more.
So, that's their game. I suppose negotiations will be difficult if I don't perform them myself. Alright, I'll head over right now. I'm sorry to leave you in the middle of our excursion, Iris, but
Oh, it's all right. Talking to the guild is more important right now. We'll be in a real mess if they force us to leave the port.
Thank you for understanding. There's no rush, but I would appreciate it if you would return to the ship sometime soon.
Leaving me with those words, Owen rushed off toward the port with his crewmate. Good luck. See you later. I thought to myself as I watched them fade out of sight. He's leaving his hostage all by herself. It wouldn't be too unusual for me to run off. I guess he must trust me at least enough to do that. In that case, I'd rather not betray his confidence.
Well, it's not like you're really his hostage. That's just the story.
I decided to go back to the ship after doing a little bit more window shopping. With these thoughts in my mind, I browsed around outside the surrounding shops on the way back to the port, but suddenly...
Oh dear! Not who I expected to see, and look how awesome he looks! Woo! He went all steampunk. That's a wonderful look for you.
Huh? I saw a familiar face among the crowd and hurriedly ran over to him. Hey, aren't you the timekeeper? Responding to my voice, the man's sandy gold hair swayed as he turned to face me.
Have you nothing to say? That's rude.
You really are the timekeeper. What are you doing in this?
You're wrong to refer to me by that name in this world. We're not in Wonderland anymore.
He spoke with his usual relaxed tone of voice, which was now all too familiar to me.
In this tale of the realm of piracy, I've been given the role of an adventurer.
You're an adventurer?
You thought the role didn't suit me just now, didn't you?
Oh. No, of course not.
It's okay. I thought it was an odd role myself, you know.
For whatever reason, it looks like Kronos was sucked into this world just like I was.
By the way, apparently this tale's version of me is creating a map of the world. So, I'd like it if you didn't refer to me as Timekeeper.
I understand. So, Mr. Adventurer?
Just Kronos is fine, seeing as how I'll be part of your crew from now on.
When did that happen?
Right, Kronos it is then. But wait a minute. He spoke so matter-of-factly about the whole thing that I just about ignored the most important part of what he said.
What is it?
What do you mean, part of my crew?
I've read this story before back in Wonderland. The map-making adventurer joins the pirate crew so he can complete his atlas of the world.
And how does he end up joining with the pirates?
That's just how the tale goes. Following it will solve all our problems, okay? I don't think we ought to worry too much about the details.
With that, Kronos began walking to the harbor at a brisk pace.
If you aren't busy, let's go to the harbor. I don't know which ship is which, so it'd help if you show me which one is the pirates.
Yeah, okay, got it. I nodded ambiguously and followed Kronos. This tale is really something else. I didn't plan on anyone hearing me as I thought out loud. Never think out loud, people! My words were carried away by the harbor sea breeze. That's our ship.
I see. It's just how it was described in the story.
You expected differently?
Kronos, you know everything about this story, don't you? You don't really need my help, right?
That's not true. For one thing, someone like you is liable to act out of character.
But the story itself isn't any different. We're still on a treasure hunt and all.
Yes, but... Speaking of that treasure that Owen is looking for, you don't really know what it is, do you?
That's right. Personally, I have no idea, even in my role as the nobleman's daughter. Kronos hung his head upon my reply, assuming a posture of deep thought.
Oh, then I guess it's better I tell you right away. The treasure handed down by the nobleman's daughter's house is a precious stone, but it's bewitched by a deadly curse.
That sounds wonderful. And what, the deadly curse can only be lifted by sacrificing the noblewoman's life? I guess we'll see in Chapter 5, whenever that unlocks. So I hope to see you there or in some of my other videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.